This is the latest, greatest road bike from BMC, and it is the BMC Teammachine R013 for the 2024 season. Well, hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Cycling Insider. So in this episode, I will give you the buyer's guide for this spectacular aerodynamically optimized road bike. So, as I was saying, this is the latest iteration of the BMC Teammachine, and specifically this is the BMC Teammachine R level of the bike. So who is this bike for? Let's answer this question first. So BMC Teammachine R is all in heavily aerodynamically optimized road bike. So everything from the, as you see, frame, fork, handlebar, stem, seat post, using aerodynamic wheels and all other components. And this bike is definitely going to be very stiff and really fast in the straight line. So I would characterize this bike almost as if you are really serious about racing and you just want to go top speed as much as possible and minimize your drag, then definitely this is the bike to consider. But keep in mind that this Teammachine R, as the name suggests, for racing, is definitely going to be the bike on the stiff side of these aerodynamically optimized bikes. It is an absolutely stunning and beautifully looking bike. And specifically in this iteration, there's only one paint scheme on offer, and this is this iron gray with the neon red, so kind of metallic silver with a hint of red. Absolutely stunning, very beautiful design from BMC. So the retail price of this bike is 9,500 euros or 9,500 US dollars. As you see, absolutely eye-watering price for this bike. And we can definitely dive into the specifications to see what do you really get for your hard-earned money. But there is no way around it. I still consider this a total super bike, specifically in this aero road bike category. Okay, so as I was saying, let's check the specifications of this bike and really see what are you getting for your hard-earned money. I have to mention here also that when they were developing this BMC Teammachine R bike, they were working with the Red Bull Advanced Technologies Center. So the same, guys and girls that are working on the Red Bull F1 Formula One car. So they definitely know a thing or two about aerodynamics, and that's why this bike has few really specific design features that I haven't seen anywhere on the market yet. So, okay, let's start with the frame and the fork on this bike. So the frame is the Teammachine R01 Premium Carbon from BMC. So this is their highest level carbon fiber that they can do for this Teammachine bike. Of course, this carbon fiber frame comes with the press fit PF86 bottom bracket, flat mount disc brakes, and also 12mm through axles front and the back. Some of the other highlights of this frame definitely include their stealth cable routing. So all the cables, going internally, there is no externally routed cables. Everything goes through the, handlebar stem through the front tube of the bike. So you really got to be good friends with your local mechanic, because if you need to change anything on this bike, for example, some of the, hydraulic disc brake cables, then you really got to be a good friend with your local mechanic. And also this frame comes with the integrated, as they call, aero core bottle cages and the so-called stealth dropout design. It's a very nice little feature of this stealth dropout design, how they closed these dropouts. Again, everything designed for, smooth airflow as possible. I will also mention here, when you look at the bottom bracket on this bike, they have a very specific design on this bottom bracket. I think they even call it like the deep bottom bracket, Mariana bottom bracket, as the Mariana Trench. So this bottom bracket design, very specific, huge bottom bracket, and I'm guessing this is because of some of the new UCI rules that they could spread this bottom bracket on such a huge volume, which again will contribute, I'm guessing, to the better airflow, better aerodynamics on this part. Okay, when you look at the fork, it is also the Teammachine R01 premium carbon fiber fork with the stealth cable routing, stealth dropouts, flat mount disc brakes, and 12mm through axles. So BMC frames in the fork absolutely stunning in this iteration. Top-notch, creme de la creme. There is no complaints from me in this, department. And definitely, I just gotta mention that the frames from BMC with their lifetime warranty, again, top-notch, no complaints here. Okay, let's talk about the the shifters, front mech and rear mech on this bike. So everything is the electronic 12-speed group set from SRAM Force ETAP Access electronic group set. Absolutely superb. There is no cables on this bike. It's such a beautiful, clean design. And again, SRAM Force ETAP is going to work perfectly fine. No complaints here. Now, when you look at the crankset and the cassette, of course, the crankset from SRAM Force, 4835 chain rings, and this crankset also includes the power meter, which is absolutely excellent because this bike costs $9,500 US. And also, when you look at the cassette on this bike, you will get the SRAM Force XG 1270 cassette, and this cassette is 1028 tooth. So I gotta mention here that 1028 tooth compared with 4835 chain rings. So you will have to produce, some good power to climb some steep mountains, because this 1028 cassette is a bit on the, the smaller size, in my opinion. But, keep that in mind, even in the future, if you are replacing the cassette. This XG 1270 cassette, they can be very pricey when you need to replace them in the future. Of course, the chain, they didn't cut corners, SRAM Force 12-speed chain, so excellent, superb. And definitely in the future, I would advise you always to keep with the SRAM 12-speed compatible chains. Okay, now let's talk about the braking system on the bike. Hydraulic disc brakes, front and the back, from SRAM Force, and these are with the SRAM Paceline rotors, and as I can see, 160mm rotors front and the back, which is again excellent, so no cutting corners in this department. Now let's talk about some of the, kind of highlights of the bike. So handlebar and the stem. So this is a one-piece carbon fiber handlebar and the stem. They call it ICS Carbon Aero. I will just mention here that if you look a bit into the details of this handlebar and the stem, it's a beautiful piece of design. But again, keep in mind that this is a fixed kind of sizing of this handlebar and the stem. So if you need any adjustments of your position, it's not going to happen with this handlebar and the stem. It is what it is out of the box. And one of the interesting things is that measured on the tops of the handlebars, this is 36 centimeters, and then measured at the drops, this is 42 centimeters. So just keep in mind that when you are on the top of the handlebars, this 36 centimeters, it's a very narrow position, so you will definitely need to keep your shoulders very narrow, and then when you are dropping kind of down on the drops, you will have a 42 centimeters wide handlebar. So this is basically designed, as BMC says, everything properly for the racing conditions when you want your frontal area to be as small as possible. But again, keep in mind that this 36 centimeters at the top is truly very narrow. And also forget to mention, when I was talking about the fork on this bike, this is a so-called halo fork, so very wide fork legs, and again they have designed this with the Red Bull kind of advanced technology center to keep this kind of turbulent air from the fork going around the bike frame. So these are some very, specific details of these heavily aerodynamically optimized bikes, but I think they're very interesting details compared to some, other competitors. Okay, seat post and the saddle. So the seat post, again, a premium carbon fiber seat post from BMC, superb, aerodynamically optimized. It is definitely going to soak up some of the smaller bumps, and the saddle, in my opinion, again, a superb saddle, Physique Argo Vento R3. This is, as I see here, 140 millimeters wide. And I would just mention that, again, since saddles are a personal preference, you might want to keep this one, or you just want to replace it with your preferred saddle. Now let's talk about the wheel set on the bike. So they are including the carbon fiber wheel set from BMC. So this is their CRD 501 SL carbon fiber wheel set, which is tubeless ready, 50 millimeter rim heights front and the back, and I'm guessing some of their own, as they call them, CRD 501 hubs on this wheel set. Not a lot of technical specifications about this wheel set is out there, so I'm assuming the total weight of this carbon wheel set at about 1,600 grams, and I truly believe that, BMC has spent some quality time working on this wheel set, so definitely I wouldn't say there should be any complaints about this carbon fiber wheel set. This wheel set is also wrapped in the Pirelli P0 race tires, tubeless ready tire. In this iteration it is a 26mm tire. I wish they have included the 28mm tires here, again, just because a bit more air volume, a bit more smoother ride. But the good thing is that if you want to fit a wider tire on this frame and the fork, you can definitely up to 30mm measured tire width. So again, superb stuff for the future upgrades. And definitely with this bike, you are also getting a mount at the front for your Garmin unit. And also they are including the so-called aero core bottle cages, so a bit of aerodynamically optimized bottle cages with this bike, which, fit very nicely with this aero frame and the fork on the bike. BMC is not mentioning a total weight for this bike, but I've heard some very impressive numbers, and I would expect this bike in size, let's say 56, to be probably somewhere around 7.5 kilograms without pedals. So with pedals, probably we are speaking about 7.8 kilograms in size 56. And I would definitely say that this is a superb bike weight considering this stunning bike. So what is my advice to you if you are in the market for this type of the racing aero optimized bike? Well, I would definitely say, you know what, go ahead and definitely buy this BMC Teammachine R 013 road bike at $9,500 because I gotta admit that this is probably at least the best looking bike lately that has been presented. And also when you dive into the specifications and a bit more technical details, you truly see how they've spent time working on this aero bike, and in my opinion it's a truly stunning and very impressive product from BMC. And of course $9,500 reflects this, but you are always paying a premium to get the bikes on the levels of BMC. So, all in all, excellent job from BMC, very impressive racing aero bike, BMC Teammachine R. So, this is going to be it for today. I hope you like what I'm doing, and if you do, keep on watching, keep on liking, and as always, I will see you soon in the next episode. Cheers!